In this video, we're going to be going into the back to school niche and we're going to be looking to find some cracks and try to do some different takes that nobody is doing. Because this is a highly competitive, high sales volume niche, we need to be trying something different. So let's hop on over to Flying Research so that we can see what kind of designs are currently selling. Okay, so here we are in Flying Research, and if you look at the types of designs that are selling near the top, we're getting groovy fonts. It's all very colorful. They tend to be more slanted towards younger kids, right? And there are tons of pre-K, kindergarten, and up through 5th grade. So as you probably noticed, almost all of the designs that are back to school designs are oriented towards kids and teachers. But there are far more people affected by back to school than simply teachers and small children. So let's think about some of the other people that would be affected. We've got school bus drivers, we've got cafeteria workers, we've got the parents, especially specifically the moms. And also there are more things than just being excited or not excited about going back to school. Off the top of my head, we've got homework is coming, we've got packing school lunches, we've got changes in routine. So there are a lot of different directions that we can go to try to find some sales, try to resonate with a specific part of the audience. So all of these seem to be very positive, and I think that when everything is positive, we have room for some funny negative takes or some sarcastic takes. So let's see what we can find here. Okay, so we don't have any sarcastic back to school. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Let's talk to ChatGPT and try and figure out some funny takes that might happen. So the first thing we need to think about is how to target our specific audience. For instance, let's do the sarcastic thing and let's think about the parents, right? We've already got the kids and we've already got the teachers. Those are very well covered. How about we try sarcastic moms? So in order to get us started, let's ask for some common problems for moms when kids go back to school. So we've got morning chaos, packing lunches, school supplies and shopping. I know that's also applicable to teachers, paperwork, time management, homework, sickness, emotional transitions. Anyway, there's a ton of different things. It's very disruptive to go from summer to school and vice versa. How about packing lunches? That seems like something that would be a funny, potential sarcastic take. Okay, so we're asking for sarcastic short phrases that could go on a t-shirt around packing lunches. None of these are particularly funny. I came, I saw, I packed leftovers is kind of funny. Yes, it's the same snack again. Lunch money, the real solution. Okay, so let's give it a little bit more to work with. We've got this retro vintage type of image, and I think that this would be something that could potentially speak to our target audience of moms that don't really like packing lunches. Okay, so here we are. We ended up in Google AI Studio because I wasn't that pleased with what I was getting back from ChatGPT. And we asked for some t-shirt ideas generally around packing lunches for kids. That wasn't specific enough. So we went and we added the requirement for it to be a sarcastic mom with kids that complain about their lunches. And that is getting more and more drilled down. And ultimately, the more drilled down we get, the more likely we are to make a sale. So one that I liked was "you get what you get," because there is a phrase that is used in the United States that is "you get what you get and you don't get upset." And there's all kinds of different variations. I like "your opinion has been noted," but "you get what you get" kind of makes sense for this niche. And I asked for different variants that are more like "you get what you get." And we also got "because I said so" and "you'll eat it and you'll like it," which are both very funny, sarcastic takes. And they would go very well with this base image right here. So let's go ahead and throw this into ChatGPT and see what it makes of it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to ask for it to make a prompt for this image because I like to work with the prompt before I start making modifications. And then we will ask for it to swap out the words. So let's try the long one, and we'll do "you get what you get" at the top. and you don't get upset at the bottom. So let's go ahead and run that image over here. Now let's modify it for some of the other lunch-based funny phrases. So I like "you'll eat it and you'll like it." I think that that's pretty funny. And then let's do "because I said so." Maybe "eat it because I said so." And we'll go ahead and run this one, and we will do our last one over here. And while we are waiting for that to run, we can go ahead and pop that into Imagen as well. Okay, that's the first one, that's the second one, and that is the third one. Okay, so let's go through our results. We'll start with ChatGPT. So here we've got some messed up typography, but that's not a big deal. You could just ask for it to rerun it. So we can say rerun it. So we'll see if it will fix it by simply rerunning it because of the misspellings. And then we've got this one, and I think that this is the phrase that's going to work the best. This is a pretty funny take. I really think that this is the best laid out. I might make these two filled in like this bit over here with the stars. But minor gripe, honestly, looks pretty good. Now here we are with another one, and "eat it because I said so." We had another misspelling, but again, it looks pretty decent. So I think that the eyes were a little bit messed up. So we're going to give it some very broad instructions. Fix the eyes, fix the typos, and we will see what happens. Now here we are with the Google Imagen 4 ones. "Eat it because I said so." I'm kind of impressed by Imagen 4 turning up better typography in general. But this one would work well. I would just take the text and I would change it to the dark maroon that is in this image. And then it would be that popular monocolor style that is doing very well on Etsy and is also doing pretty well on Amazon. And here we are with the last one. And this one I would upload as is. Just process it and upload it as it is. "You'll eat it and you'll like it." And I think that that one would work very well. Okay, so it looks like this is having some trouble fitting the typography. I don't blame it. I would have trouble fitting the typography in that space too. But we could do this manually. We could resize it. Or we could just let it go and go with one of our other ones, like this one. And this one did fix the typography. It's still pretty funny, and it did fix the eyes, which is great. So this is also usable. Okay, so that was just one possible take. We went and we drilled down. We found one small problem within a target market that is slightly less emphasized within the back to school seasonal niche. And we got some pretty solid results out of both ChatGPT and Google Imagen 4. But I just had a thought while I was sitting here waiting for these stinking ChatGPT images to finish generating. And I was thinking, what about the chaotic, running late, morning routine stuff? I've had some experience with that. I've got a kid of my own. So I was thinking maybe we could do something where we're worried about missing the bus. So we can go ahead and ask Google for some ideas. We'll also ask ChatGPT. And we don't need it to relate to that image. We just need phrases. So here we're doing a slightly different one. Can you give me some funny t-shirt ideas for moms frazzled with kids that are being late for the bus? Okay, I'm not particularly impressed with that. Let's see if Google does any better. Official member of the "We Missed It, Just Get in the Car" club. That's pretty funny. I also like "may spontaneously yell the bus is coming," but not on its own. It just gave me another idea. What about "the buses are coming"? And when I see "is coming" or "are coming," I think about two different things. I think about Game of Thrones, which we obviously can't reference. And I think about "the British are coming," which is a common part of U.S. history where we are referring to Paul Revere's Midnight Ride, where he yells "the British are coming." And since we are targeting the U.S. market, this is going to be something that everyone will understand. So let's see if we could get a prompt that would work with that idea. So all we asked for is, can you make me an image generation prompt that combines the idea of Paul Revere's midnight ride with the phrase, "the buses are coming." And since ChatGPT is actually very good at creating the prompts as well, let's go ahead and give ChatGPT another chance. It's letting us down in the phrase ideas, but we can certainly ask for it to make a prompt. Okay, so we could take it, we could paste it in here with a create image, and we'll go ahead and throw this one in as well. And we'll also let Imogen get a whack at these two prompts too. I mean, this is pretty funny. I don't know if this would work well on a t-shirt, but this is pretty funny. Okay, so this is a pretty awesome take, but it is too much like a poster and not enough like a t-shirt. So let's see if we can make some adjustments to make this better for a t-shirt. So let's go ahead and ask for a flat dark gray background and keep the scene similar. That doesn't look like Paul Revere, so it doesn't really do anything for us. So this prompt is a bust, so we can close that out. And we can go ahead and give that a whack on each of our image generators. Okay, this has real Paul Revere Midnight Ride vibes. The horse looks the same. The whole thing works. The fact that this glowing effect is done with halftones means it will probably vectorize relatively cleanly. So I think this is something that you could run with. We would obviously have to run it again to get an S. And if we're going to do that, we might as well ask for it to remove the glowing. So let's ask for our adjustment. I think that we're going to have to decide not to use Imagen 4 for a scene-based design here, but this is definitely usable. So we're going to go ahead and download that one. We probably wouldn't use that. We're not going to use Imagen, so we're going to give up on that. So let's see what this one turns out like. And boom, that's a good one too. It's got a similar vibe. We're going to go ahead and download that. Okay, here we go. We've got some pretty good ones. This one's got a typo, so we'll get rid of that. This one would work. This one would work. This one would work. This one would work. This is okay, but I think that you get what you get and you don't get upset and you'll eat it and you'll like it with that facial expression is better. Okay, well, there we go. We've got two different design styles. I couldn't find anything like those design styles out on Amazon or out on Etsy. So I think that these have some real potential to perform. And we did it using AI for inspiration. However, we did need to use our brains and we did need to dive into the niche and think about it a little bit. And I hope that watching the thought process and watching the adjustments in real time are helpful. And that type of iterative process is how we ultimately drill down and we speak to a specific target customer. Okay, just like last time with the retro ghost illustrations, I'm going to be sending out a copy of the prompts that I used in an email in about 3 days from the posting of this video. So sign up for my email list if you want a copy of the prompts. And if you haven't watched the video that I'm referencing, I would encourage you to check it out over here. I use nothing but the free Imagen 4 generator and the free Google AI Studio. And we get some pretty solid results. So check out that video over here, and I will see you in that video.